Welcome to the Human Capital Innovations Podcast. We're your source for personal, professional, and organizational growth and development, where we share original research, explore industry trends, and interview executives and thought leaders from across the globe. We hope you join us often for practitioner-oriented content around all things related to leadership, HR, talent management, organizational development, and change management. Maximize your personal and organizational potential with Human Capital Innovations Podcast. Do you enjoy the Human Capital Innovations Podcast? Enjoy ad-free listening by going to the Patreon page, and please consider contributing even at the producer or sponsorship level. And please leave a review. Thank you for your support. Welcome to the Human Capital Innovations Podcast. In this HCI Podcast episode, I talk with Cathy Nesbitt about the need of laughter in a mental health tsunami. Cathy Nesbitt, welcome to the Human Capital Innovations Podcast.
Thank you, John. I'm excited to be here.
It is a pleasure to be with you. You're joining us from Ontario, Canada. I'm south of Salt Lake City in Utah. And today we're going to be talking about mental health and the need of laughter in a mental health tsunami. I really like the way you phrase that in your materials. And the reality is the last couple of years have been really tough on people. Now, mental health is always an issue, always something we should be carefully considering and practicing self-care and doing all those sorts of things. But I think now, as much as ever, this is something that we individually need to be aware of. It's something we need to be thinking about for our partners and our families. It also is something we need to be thinking about as organizational leaders with our teams to make sure that everyone has the support they need, that they know that they can and should be focusing on their own mental health, and that we're facilitating that. So these are the things we'll be having a conversation about together today. As we get started, I wanted to share Cathy's bio with everybody. Cathy Nesbitt is a health and wellness advocate, founder of Cathy's Crawley Composters in 2002, Cathy's Sprouters, and Cathy's Laughter Club. She is a multi-award-winning environmental innovator who uses workshops and inspirational speaking to motivate people to live a more sustainable life. Cathy is a certified laughter yoga teacher, appointed laughter ambassador in 2017, and founder of Laughter Yoga. It's a pleasure to be with you. Anything else you would like to share with me or my listeners by way of your background or personal context before we dive on in further?
Well, it is the 20th anniversary of my worm business. And I got into laughter because it was kind of challenging selling worms. You know, people were hesitant. And then COVID really hit and really jump-started why we really need laughter. But it is a practice that I do myself. Yes. There we go.
I think that's great. And I love your sustainability focus. I love the different initiatives that you've championed around sustainability. And I think that's something we all really need to be focusing a lot on in our own personal lives and our organizations. And I'm a big believer in social impact work, and environmental sustainability is a really important piece of that. Now, we're not going to be focusing exclusively on that today, but I think that's a really great piece of your background that I just wanted to highlight. And as we move into talking about laughter, why don't you set the stage for us in terms of this mental health tsunami that we're in, and why perhaps it's more important than ever that we foster laughter?
Yeah, we really need to look after ourselves. Because when we're in fear, when we're stressed, we're like always, because our little amygdala hasn't evolved, the stress center of the brain hasn't evolved. So when we go into stress, we're not breathing and our brain's not getting oxygenated. So laughter, right? You can't just ha. You have to, at a certain point, laughter is the fastest happiness hack. I guess that's what I want to say, just to introduce why we want to laugh. It's so simple. It's free. it's waiting in all of us to burst out. And when we laugh, we're secreting the love drugs, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, versus cortisol when we're stressed. And as soon as, stress is really a powerful thing. And it's over 90% of today's illnesses are stress related. 90%, John, like that, it's huge. So if we can manage our stress, even for a few minutes, and then it becomes a habit, and then, wow, we laugh more and more, and then, oh, look, we're having this light. It's just makes you lighter. And I can say the more I laugh, kind of the lighter I get. I think one day I might just float away. I'm just having this bubble of a life. And I want people to live the life that I'm living. And I know it sounds like, oh, sure. If we add laughter, have you ever heard laughter's the best medicine? Right? It's not just an expression. We know it's just being suppressed, because it's much easier if we think about the pharmaceutical system, and I'm not here to diss anything. Everything is, in moderation or as needed. But we are in charge of our own pharma when we laugh, right? Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, versus if you're feeling depressed or if you have a diagnosis, not to not take your medication, but just be mindful that adding laughter, it does help us regulate our own chemicals in our body naturally. And nobody's OD'd from laughing too much.
Perhaps you laugh so hard that you're not breathing, and so you pass out from lack of oxygen. But other than that, I can't think of a potential negative from laughing too much, right?
Just the pains in your side and the pains in your cheeks.
Yeah, your face starts to hurt, right? Because you're laughing so hard. No, and I really like the brain chemistry piece that you were talking about. From a social standpoint, there's just so much good that comes from laughter and being with people who make you laugh, and that you make them laugh, and just that so we're social animals, so just having that connection with people has so many benefits. But even individually, if we're just listening to, I listen to Jim Gaffigan. I think he's hilarious. And so sometimes I'll just be walking my dogs, and I'll pop in a Jim Gaffigan bit or one of his audiobooks or something like that, and I'm just chuckling out loud, and I'm all alone. It's me, I suppose, with him, but he's making me laugh. And whether it's us individually just opening up and being willing to laugh and express ourselves that way, or if we're doing it collectively when we're together socially, either way, the brain chemistry is the same, and it has huge positive effects on us, and it releases all those hormones, all those positive brain chemicals that ultimately just lift us and help us to navigate an otherwise messy, complex, sometimes dark world. And we just need more of that in our lives, I think.
Yeah, talking about mental health, when you're struggling, it's just so challenging. So if you watched the news, then another piece of negative, and then you're it just reinforces what you're feeling already. So rather than that, laughing or connecting, doing something that you enjoy, singing, throwing on a good song. So let me talk about how laughter yoga works, so people understand. It seems like what is it's still, I don't think we've still talked about it. So it was started in 1995 by a medical doctor in India, and his goal is world peace through laughter. He was treating a lot of people that had anxiety, depression, frustration, whatever, and giving out or dispensing antidepressants, maybe getting depressed himself, because as long as you take them, maybe they work, but maybe they don't. And they're suppressing your own natural serotonin. So then when you stop, of course, then you need serotonin again. Anyway, without getting too medical about it. So it really, laughter yoga is not doing yoga and laughing. It's intentional laughter exercises, not jokes or comedy, just laughing for the health of it. and it sounds weird, and it is weird when you do it for the first time, or the first couple of times. Maybe it's awkward because it's like, what is happening here? I didn't hear any jokes. I didn't see somebody trip and fall, if you're into slapstick. It's laughing, and that's fine, but those are conditional. You have to understand it. You have to have the frontal lobe for comedy or for jokes, where laughter yoga is little exercises. So there's clapping and chanting, which also may seem weird, but it is an exercise program. It's cardiovascular, and it's ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. And you're clapping palm to palm. So you're activating the meridians. Without getting sciencey again, we've seen that diagram of all those lines. Those are the meridians, the energy roots. So imagine you're clapping, and anyway, it's so fun. It's childlike play, not childish, childlike, just having fun, connecting for the health of it again, laughing, making eye contact. So it even works on Zoom during this time. So it's 27 years. We've been waiting, not for COVID, not to laughing at it, but laughter yoga is an international global movement. I think we're over 120 countries, laughter clubs around the world. So we're ready. You can laugh 24/7, right? The time zone mamba. Where are you? Where am I? Oh my gosh, not that time. Maybe that's why people don't arrive too, right? They're in a different time zone waiting for you.
I love the idea of laughter clubs. I love the idea of just being intentional about laughter through laughter exercises, laughter actions, and just kind of pushing ourselves that direction. So of course, if we're interacting with people and something funny is said, we laugh, that's wonderful, and those social interactions are fantastic. But to your point, like, we can be just like I might practice different forms of meditation, or I might utilize physical exercise, for the release of the chemicals and to help me feel better, and the mental wellness benefits. The same thing with laughter. Like, we can be very purposeful and deliberate about how we introduce laughter into our daily lives to make sure that we're getting plenty of that. And to your comment, a minute ago about, mental health challenges, we have depression, anxiety, various mental illnesses, and certainly there is a time and a place for appropriate medications, for therapy, talk therapy, those sorts of things. But there's also things that we each can and should be doing proactively every day, just to monitor and then to really stay on top of our own mental health. So whether you have something that requires medication or not, you can still practice, you have regular exercise. You can still practice laughter exercises. You can still make sure that you're taking time to meditate and to get out into nature, and so on and so forth, right? And all those things are going to help you feel a more meaningful and fulfilled life, and just feel better about everything that you're doing. And there's no like easy quick fix to any of this. And the world is still complex and messy. Organizations are still complex and messy. We still interact with other humans that are messy, and there's going to be frustrations and challenges, and we're still going to have depressive episodes and times where we are anxious and frustrated, and all those emotions, like, all that's just part of the human condition. We're still going to experience all of it, but this will help us cope with the hard things that we face, and it'll help us approach the hard things that we face perhaps from a different framing, and in a way that's a little bit more healthy, that will allow us to be more productive in how we approach it.
It's all energy, right? It's really all energy. So laughter helps just raise us up for that moment. Even it doesn't make our problems go away. It just helps us forget, because we're not even thinking when we're laughing. It's not even a survival mechanism. Imagine during, when there was saber-toothed tigers, if everyone was laughing. When you laugh full on with your friends, or if you're laughing full on, your knees get weak. So it's not very handy if you have to escape, right? So you can only laugh full on when you feel safe. And that's why it's so beautiful. It's just a wonderful release. And we forget everything for a moment. That's what it's kind of like The pressure cooker, when, you know, it builds up so much and then the thing starts singing. Isn't that it? The little thing goes, okay. Am I dating myself? So it's the same
They've made a
idea.
resurgence. We have a pressure cooker. We use it all the time.
Oh, right on. Okay. So, you know, like people laugh at funerals sometimes and it seems inappropriate, but it's just like the tension is so big, you laugh and it's just, it just is a release. It's like the volcano. It really is magic medicine, you know, it just is, it's vibration. That's what I wanted to say is when we laugh, it raises our vibration. It doesn't make it go away. It helps us handle better. It's not that things don't happen to me, but when they do, I'm able to manage better.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
faster I bounce back faster.
Exactly. And I think about the burdens, the weights we all carry on our shoulders. And there's a variety of them. If I'm in the leadership role in an organization, you know, I have the expectations of the people I report to. I have the responsibility for the people that I lead, and there's all the pressures, all the weights, right? And then in your personal life, and you add layer upon layer. We all carry around those weights, and none of what we're talking about removes those weights. It just allows us to bear the weight easier, right? It allows us to approach it in a different way with a different mindset, and to be renewed and refreshed so that we can face the challenge anew, you know, daily and even multiple times a day as we take time out to reset and to laugh and to play and to meditate and to do these types of things.
Absolutely. Yeah, mindset, because the brain requires 25% more oxygen than the rest of the body as an operating principle. So when we're
Yeah.
stressed, right, oxygen's not going to our brain, not all of it, because we need it for our muscles to get out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm wondering in the remaining time that we have together today, what
Already.
would you, I know the time has been flying. I'm curious what you think about what leaders and organizations can do to foster this kind of approach towards laughter within their organization, within their team to help promote positive mental health.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Laughter yogis are available for hire to come in and and do team building. It breaks down barriers. Everybody's one when you're laughing together. Creativity opens up because your brain, again, back to the brain gets oxygenated, everything's firing, everybody connecting, and opportunities are unlimited. And who wants to miss laughter day? The day that you all connect and it really, if any corporations, it's scientifically proven that corporations that have a laughter yoga program installed in their culture they're more profitable, they have less absenteeism, less conflicts. Everything is because it's energy. It's just energy. That's it. It just raises the vibration for everybody. And you don't even have to participate is the beautiful part, because it's energy. If you're in a room with people that are laughing and you're not doing it, you're still going to benefit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm actually thinking, just yesterday, I was in a day-long work retreat. And man, those can be brutal. You know, you're sitting in this room with people you enjoy spending time with, and you're having good conversations and strategy and all these sorts of things. But the fact that you're sitting in this room for 6, 7, 8 hours, that's just hard, right? Nobody likes that. Nobody enjoys that. But what I really noticed yesterday, and I have to give hats off to everyone who was there, is that there was plenty, you know, we were serious. We had important work to do. We were on task and all of that, but it was also light and plenty of laughter throughout the I think 7 hours that we were together. Just plenty of just us being comfortable with each other, vulnerable with each other, being willing to express ourselves. And that included a lot of laughter. And that actually, it just helps raise the energy in the room. It helps the time pass much more quickly. It allows us to be more effective. It allows us to stay more focused. I know that may sound counterintuitive, but especially when you're in meetings that long, to be able to just have micro moments of release and a break through laughter and some levity, it made all the difference in the world, and then we could press forward. So I just wanted to share that to illustrate how the power that can come as we just foster a culture and an environment that promotes laughter. Well, Cathy, it has been a real pleasure. I know at the time, and I do have to let you go here in just a minute, but before we wrap things up, I wanted to give you a chance to share with listeners how they can connect with you, find out more about your work, and then give us a final word on the topic for today.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. I've enjoyed our conversation very much. Thank you. Cathy's Club is the best way to get in touch with. cathysclub.com is my website with a C. Yeah, I would have loved to invite people to come and experience the magic of laughing for the health of it. I have a free club every Tuesday on Zoom, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, maybe a little bit early. Where you are, depending where you are. 30 minutes of super fun self-care. I incorporate tapping, brain gym, and other healing modalities. Laughter goes with everything. And it's the fastest happiness hack. I mean, it may be weird the first time. I would say if you're gonna try it at least twice, because the first time is weird and you're like, oh, I don't know, and maybe you're inhibited to even do it. Like you might be like, nope, and you're holding yourself. It's like, let go. Like it's really not about holding. It's about not holding. And really just being like, I mean, people come to my club and sometimes, they just can't, like in person. I did an in-person one yesterday, and my first one in a long time. It was so wonderful. And people were on the fringes and they couldn't participate. Oh, I just came to watch. It's like, you came to watch a laughter club? That's funny. Yeah. Like just play, just allow yourself.
Exactly. Allow yourself, play, laugh. Let's focus on self-care and promoting positive mental health for ourselves and for everyone on our teams. Cathy, it's been a real pleasure. I appreciate you sharing your insights with me and my audience today. I encourage listeners to reach out, get connected, find out more about what Cathy and her team can do for you. And as always, I hope everyone can stay healthy and safe, that you can find meaning and purpose at work each and every day. And I hope you all have a great week. Do you enjoy the Human Capital Innovations podcast? Enjoy ad-free listening by going to the Patreon page, and please consider contributing even at the producer or sponsorship level. And please leave a review. Thank you for your support. Thanks again for joining us for this episode of the Human Capital Innovations podcast. I hope you stay healthy and safe and that you have a great week.